start this session at 2:30.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Ma'am, if you're connected, can we start?
Yes, sir, we can start. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, but I think there is some background noise from your side.
Oh, yes, actually, it's there.
I think some chairs moving some at times.
Just a minute.
चली गई मैम तो Ma'am, is someone trying to join from your side?
Sorry, actually, I'm trying to stop those noises. Just a minute or so, we'll start the session.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, I hope it's now fine.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's fine.
Okay, okay. So we can start the session.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on today's session on Tally. Our guest speaker, CA Bharti Kukreja, is a chartered accountant with strong experience in audits, taxation, financial systems. He has worked on major bank audits, helped businesses set up proper accounting structure, guided MSMEs, and delivered financial literacy sessions at ICAI and even on Doordarshan. She explains concepts in a clear, practical way, which makes learning much easier. We are really glad to have her with us today. I'm sure this session will help all of us understand Tally more confidently. With that, I would now like to invite CA Bharti Kukreja to take the session forward. Ma'am, thank you for being here, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Rich, for the kind words. And as you all know, that today's session is all about the Tally ERP 9. That we will, what in this session, I'll just give a brief. That in this session, today we'll be learning few simple things regarding the tele, like how it is being operated, the simple entries, how you can pass the entries, you can manage the books. So the basics of tally we'll be starting today. So let's start the session without wasting much of the time. Okay. So first of all, let us understand what is tally actually. Basically, Tally is nothing but a software which manages the business operations. Like you, in your 11th or 12th, or even in your college, you might have been doing the journal entries manually on maybe pen and paper register. You might be doing journal entries, then you might be preparing the ledgers of the same, the trial balance, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. This is the procedure we have been following since our 11th class. So all these process, it is being automated via software which is known as Tally. Now what it does, it manages our business operations. Of course, we'll have to pass the journal entries and we'll have to create the ledgers, not the full ledgers. The ledgers will be created automatically, but we'll have to make those ledgers. Once we pass the journal entries, you'll get the ledgers prepared, trial balance prepared, profit and loss automatically prepared, and balance sheet automatically prepared. So it becomes very easy to work on the software. Basically, it is a time saving software. Instead of making everything manually, we can just do the journal entries and get everything else prepared through those. So now what all operations it manages for us? It manages our sales, finance, purchase, inventory, manufacturing, and so on. Can you see my slide? Not yet. I'll just share my screen once a minute. Just a minute. Okay, so is it visible now? Okay, we can continue then.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Yeah, thanks. So now coming to the versions of Tally, basically Tally was introduced by long back, and since then it has been uh, upgraded as the requirement was created, as and when the changes were made, the upgradations were required. So these are some versions of Tally that have been updated since Tally 4.5. Firstly, it was DOS based and only inventory was there. Then Tele 5.4, it was window based. Then Tele 6.3 with online finalization and auditing features. Tally 7.0, import and export features were introduced in that. Then Tally 7.2 introduced VAT, TDS, service tax. Then Tally 8.1, it introduced the excise and fringe benefits. Then Tally 9.0, it came with payroll, multi languages, and other features. Then Tally ERP 9, it came with remote access facility, like we can access the Tally from somewhere else, also sitting at the distance, and we can access it. And now, currently, we are working with Tally Prime. So, first of all, today for today's session, we'll just take Tally ERP 9. Okay, so this is basically the front page of Tally ERP 9. When you'll open the software, the first page that you get on Tally is this gateway of Tally. I'll just share one more screen with you. It's the software, Tally software, so we can work live on that also. Okay, so this is basically the software page. It's not visible. Is my screen visible to you?
Ma'am, not currently.
Just a minute.
Ma'am, you can share the entire screen. That way, your screen would be visible and the presentation you are showing.
Yes, yes, I'll be doing that. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So basically, we can switch on the tabs now. So what we were here, the front page when we open the software, the Tally software, what we get is the gateway of Tally. So this is the software. If you can see, this is the gateway of Tally, the front page, and from here on now we can start creating the company, or if we have already created the company, then we have the option to select the company, the backup of the company, and restore if we have already backup the data, and quit. These are the options we have we there are available on the gateway of Tally. Then why it is not working. Okay. Okay, so now let us first create a company. This is the basic step. If we want to do any entries and if you want to manage any accounts, so the first step that needs to be done is we need to create a company. And for creating a company, what all details we need to enter? I'll just create one company, Graces Private Limited. Okay, the name of the company, and this is the directory. See, directory means where this data will be saved. Whatever company you are creating, उसका डेटा कहाँ पर सेव होने वाला है, that is basically the path, directory. Then address of the company, mailing address I'll keep Bhopal. Statutory compliances, this is an Indian company, so all the compliances applicable to India will be applicable to this. Then here we can tell the state, pin code, telephone number, email address of the company, currency symbol, and accounts if we want to maintain with the inventory. Like there are some businesses which needs to keep track of their inventory also, how many items of the quantity of the goods we have purchased, and then how many of them have been sold, what are still left in the stock. If that is the case, then we'll maintain it as per the inventory. Otherwise we can just keep it accounts only. Now, financial year, it will begin from which year? Like currently, I'm starting from 2025, the current year, and my books will also begin from 2025. Then, if you want to keep any password for the company, we can keep the password. Otherwise, we can just skip it. Currency symbol, formal name, decimal up to two places, and these are the options. We'll just enter everything, and we are done with the company creation. There seems to be some network issue. Okay, so we have just created a company, and once we have created a company, then we'll enter the main page of the company. ठीक है? So this is the main page of the company. यहाँ पर again we have some options like masters, account information, accounting vouchers, data import, balance sheet, profit and loss, ratio analysis, display, and quit. So पहले हम ये वाले जो ऑप्शंस है, we'll just go through these options, then we'll do the practical of the same again. So coming back to my slide, now see, this is how we were getting the page once we have created the company. These were the options that we have seen there. और अब यहाँ पर जैसे इन्वेंट्री वाउचर का एक ऑप्शन आ रहा है, तो दिस इज बिकॉज द कंपनी माइट हैव बीन created with accounting and inventory. Okay, so this is the front page. Now gateway of Tally will get these options. Now, in if we enter in accounts info, what options we get in accounts info is groups and ledgers. Now let's just see what options do we get. Accounts info. Here we are getting groups. So what kind of groups? We are getting option to either create or display the created groups, or alter the groups if we want to alter something in that. So I'll just see display. See, these are the pre-created list of groups in Tally software itself. Like these are already specified groups under which we can create our ledgers. So what are the groups? These groups are basically used to create the ledgers. Like if I talk about a bank account, so bank account is a group. अब इस ग्रुप के अंदर आपको कौन सा बैंक का अकाउंट क्रिएट करना है. लाइक आई कैन हैव मल्टीपल अकाउंट्स इन डिफरेंट बैंक्स. सो विच अकाउंट यू वांट टू क्रिएट, विच अकाउंट नंबर यू वांट टू कीप, वो सब हम लेजर में क्रिएट करते हैं और ये कंसोलिडेटेड होके एक ग्रुप बनता है. तो इफ आई वांट टू क्रिएट माय बैंक अकाउंट, इफ आई वांट टू क्रिएट अ लेजर ऑफ एनी बैंक अकाउंट, then I'll have to select the group as bank account. Okay, next bank OD, bank CC. Then if I have branch or divisions, so I can use branch or divisions group. Capital account, if I want to create different capital accounts, maybe of partnership firm, for different partners, and I'll have to select the group as capital account. Cash in hand is used as a group for cash balance. Current assets, again, for debtors, stock, or any other bill receivable. If we are creating such ledgers, we need to select the group as current assets. Again, for current liabilities, we'll be selecting the group as current liabilities. And there are various other groups. So many options are available. We can select the group that fits as per the ledger. Now, coming back to ledgers, see, these are the only two pre-created ledgers that are installed in Tally, that are already there in Tally. Apart from this, we'll have to create our own ledgers because Tally does not know which name ledger we want, or whose ledger we want. I mean, ledger is basically related to different name, or Tally does not know which in which bank I have an account, what is the account number of my bank. So all these things we'll have to create by ourselves. So as I said, ledgers are created by us and groups are predefined. Sorry. Coming back to this, again we have seen that under accounts info section we have groups and ledgers, and then we have option to create ledgers. Now what? See, the main basic, or before starting Tally or working on Tally, what needs to be learned is the rules of debit and credit. Without learning proper accounting rules, we cannot work on Tally, because ultimately journal entries have to be passed by us only. Tally won't pass journal entries on itself. That needs to be done by us. So before working on Tally, what needs to be learned is the golden rules of debit and credit that we have already done in our class 11th, right? We have done it or not? Can anyone in the chat box let me know the rules of debit and credit? Okay, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. This is a rule for which account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. This is a rule for which account? No, it's not for personal account.
Ma'am, in the chat, people are saying it's for real account.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, YouTube and that both are there. Yes, for real account. So for real account, the rules are debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And for personal account, the rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. For nominal account, the rule is debit all losses and expenses, credit all incomes and gains. So by this rule only, we'll be passing the entries and we'll be moving forward on working on tally. Okay, so now coming to some shortcuts in the tally. See, these are the shortcuts that are used for working on tally or functioning of tally. First is the enter key. Whenever you are passing any entry, whenever you are moving, whenever you want to enter in any data, you will have to press the enter key. And if you want to go back from any page, then escape key is used. Like here, if I want to enter to the accounts information, then I'll have to press the enter key. And if I want to go back, then either backspace or escape. Okay, then to save, again I have to press the enters every time with every line. And if I want to save it at once, then I'll be pressing control plus A. To cancel anything, again escape key. To create the ledger, alt plus C. To select the company, we'll press F1. To shut the company, we'll press alt plus F1. To change the date, simply we'll be pressing F2 key. To come to the settings, we'll have F12. Then for selecting any features or changing any features of the books or company, we'll have to press F11. So these are some shortcut keys, the basic shortcut keys that we can use while working on the tally. Now, this also have told you the name of ledgers. Basically, there are predefined two ledgers, cash and profit and loss account. Others we'll have to create. Now, this is basically the data, the ledgers that have been created by this company and the groups and subgroups under what these ledgers are being created. Okay. This is ledger creation step by step. This I'll show you practically. This is again the consolidated inventory view, unit, stock items. If we are working on inventory, then we'll get these options. Currently, we are not working on inventory, so we won't be getting these options. Okay, then these are accounting vouchers. Okay, see, basically there are 6 type of predefined vouchers in the tally that we'll need to use. Apart from this, there is no other voucher. All the entries, all XYZ entries will be passing through these vouchers only. What are these vouchers? See, first is the receipt voucher. And how we can open or switch to the receipt voucher? While doing the entry, if we press F6, we'll get the receipt voucher. Now, when the receipt voucher is used, basically whenever we receive the money either through bank or cash, at that point of time the entry needs to be made in receipt voucher. Okay, but what is mandatory is the money should have been received either through bank or through cash. Now, second voucher, that is a payment voucher. Payment voucher will be opened through F5. Payment voucher will be used only and only when the payment is made either through bank account or through cash. But the mandatory part here should be that payment should be made, money should go out. The next is purchase voucher. Whenever you are making an entry for purchase of goods, see, purchase of goods, not the purchase of fixed assets, only purchase of goods, stock. So, whenever we are making entry for the purchase of goods, that time we will be using the purchase voucher. And for that, the shortcut key is F9. Next is the sales voucher. Again, when we are making the entry for sale of goods, only goods, not the furniture, not the fixed asset, not anything else, only the goods, that time we'll be using the sales voucher. And for that, shortcut will be F8. Next, when we are making the contra entries, what are the contra entries? Contra entries, they are basically the entries maybe within one bank to other bank, or entries from cash to bank or bank to cash. These type of entries, they are known as contra entries. So for these sort of entries we'll be using the contra voucher, and the shortcut key for that will be F4. Apart from these five above vouchers, if anything else, what any other entry we are passing, like for depreciation, for bed debts, for purchase of furniture or anything XYZ, for that we'll be using the journal voucher, and the shortcut key for that will be F7. Okay, so now let us start with some entries so that we can get a practical view of the tally. First is the receipt voucher. Okay, I'll just show you the vouchers once in the tally. See, from here we can enter into the vouchers. The first voucher that has been opened is the payment voucher. So now if I want to open the receipt voucher, I'll have to press F6. I have just pressed F6, and now you can see above here it is the receipt voucher now. Again, I want to go to payment voucher, F5. Purchase voucher, F9. Sales voucher, F8. Bank transactions contra voucher, F4. And the journal one is F7. Is this clear to all? Can we proceed further if everything till now is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, everything is clear to everyone. We can proceed further.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now basically these are the vouchers that we have seen: purchase, sale, contra, journal. These are some example journal entries which we'll now try to pass on tally. Practical, we'll see that how we can pass these journal entries on our software. So for that, firstly, we'll be creating some vouchers which will be required while passing the entries. First entry I'll do is received capital by cash from Victor rupees 5 lakh. So basically, capital has been introduced in the business through cash. So for that, I'll be doing the entry in receipt voucher since the cash is being received, and the capital voucher needs to be created. So Alt C, by Alt C we can create the ledger. See, if when I have pressed Alt C, Alt plus C, I have got this screen of ledger creation. What I am creating now is capital. Under the group, capital account only. We can just skip this and we can press Control plus A for quick save. Now the capital account will be credited with rupees 5 lakhs. Just a minute. Why is it not working? Okay. I have done this in the debit and credit mode so you can understand it more easily, like what is being debited and what is being credited. So here capital is being credited by 5 lakh and cash has been introduced in the business, right? By pressing the enter, I'll just accept the entry. For accepting the entry, we'll have to press Y or enter. Okay. So first entry has been done. The next entry is paid for building rupees 50,000. So now basically we have paid 50,000 for construction of the building, and building being a fixed asset will be created under the group of fixed assets. So now first I'll create the ledger, that is Alt C again for ledger creation. We'll create one building account under the head fixed asset. See, we have fixed asset as a group. We'll create under this and we'll just accept. Okay. So now again we'll have to change the ledger. This is not receipt. This entry will be passed in what? Paid for building. So we have paid the cash. So payment voucher. Okay. So building account debit 50,000 and to cash account 50,000. Since nothing was mentioned, like from which bank we have paid, so I'm assuming it is paid in cash. And one more thing I'll tell in this entry. Opened SBI bank account with rupees 1 lakh. So I'll just create one ledger for SBI bank account. SBI account under the head bank account, effective from 1st April. Okay, and accept. So what we have done, basically we have opened SBI account with rupees 1 lakh. We have deposited 1 lakh in our SBI account. So we'll have to pass a contra entry. So what will be credited? Cash will be credited from the books, 1 lakh, and SBI account will be debited. Okay, one more thing what we do is narration. We'll write the narration for the entries we are making. Okay, so here I'll write opened bank account by depositing cash. Okay, why are you doing this in voucher section instead of normal journal section? I cannot get your doubt. Which voucher section? Okay, let's move to the fourth entry. Paid for laptops by check 50,000. So again, payment F5 for the laptops. So laptop, again, fixed assets. Laptop, fixed assets. Okay, how much amount has been paid? 50,000. The amount has been paid by check, right? SBI bank account. Just a second. Okay, I hope now the noises have stopped. Okay, so in narration part, we can again mention the check number if we have paid through the check, or simply we can mention like whatever mode of payment was there through the bank account, also UPI or NEFT, RTGS, or whatever. Okay, then credit purchase from IBM rupees 75,000. So for this, we'll have to enter the enter in purchase voucher. Reference, if we can have any reference, we'll put that. And we have made credit purchase from IBM. So what should be credited? IBM, and IBM will be our creditor. Sundry creditor. Okay, we'll just create the account for 75,000. New reference 1. Here we are being asked that are there any credit days within which we will have to make the payment? So we can mention that yes, 15 days. Okay, and this is the amount. By what? By purchase account. Just a minute. See, now here what we can do is we can create different ledgers like what we have purchased under purchase account. Also, if there are different kind of products, we can just mention the product name by creating the ledger. I'll just do that. I'll give the name as product 1. Okay, under the purchase account. So product 1 has been purchased from IBM, and then we'll press Ctrl A to save this. Next entry is credit sale to ICFAI for 9,000. Okay, so now we have sold the goods. For selling of goods, again we'll have to enter through the sale account. Party name we'll have to create. Party name is ICFAI. ICFAI. Under sundry creditors, sundry debtors. Any delivery note, dispatch, and all these are some detailed things. Okay. Just a minute. Sale of rupees 9,000. Right? So party name is there, sale amount is there. This entry will be in the sales voucher. See, there are some shortcuts that are being frequently used, like the ledger creation one, Alt C, then voucher switching. So you should save those software, that shortcuts. I'll just open the slide again, and you can take the screenshot of the same. What you can do is you can just simply download the educational version of Tally from the Google, and you can practice it on that from your books itself. The journal entries that are available in your books, you can simply practice through those entries by entering these things in Tally. The next paid for salary is rupees 25,000. So again, for salaries, we are making payment. So payment voucher will be selected. We'll have to create the voucher of ledger of salary under the head indirect expenses. So salary is now what? Indirect expense. These concepts should be really very clear to you, like which falls, which ledger will fall under which group. That needs to be very strong. So salary again 25,000. Considering it to be paid via cash, so I'm debiting the salary account and crediting the cash account. Again, you can mention here salary paid to XYZ person. Okay, salary paid to Ram. Rent, paid rent rupees 12,000. So again, payment voucher will be used, but new ledger will be created for rent under indirect expense. Rent for 12,000, sorry, paid through cash. Okay, so rent paid for the month of April 2025. Then credit purchase from Sony rupees 60,000. Again, we'll have to make the entry in the purchase voucher. So F9 for the purchase voucher. Two creditor will be created Sony under the group of sundry creditors. And what amount of product has been purchased? 60,000 rupees. Okay, 60,000 rupees. New reference, 15 days credit period. Again, product 1. Again, I'm giving the name as product 1 only. That one product has, that particular product has been purchased. Then credit sale to NGI 75,000. Again, sales voucher will be used for the credit sale. Party name is NGI. NGI ledger will be created under sundry debtors. Sales account and 75,000 rupees sale to NGI. Next entry is the cash sale of rupees 10,000. Now, during the cash sale, the amount, the name of the debtor is not mentioned because the amount has already been received. So I'll just pass the entry. Cash sales, of course, yes, the amount has already been received. So we'll make an entry in receipt voucher because the amount is being received. So amount is received through sales. To whom we have sold, we don't know. 10,000 sales and the cash is being debited. We can mention here cash sales. Okay. Then paid for wages 3,000. Payment voucher F5. Wages account will be created. Alt C, wages. Now wages come under the direct expenses. So under direct expenses, we'll have wages 3,000. The payment has been done through cash. We'll just consider this and save the entry. Paid for carriage inward 2,000. Again, it's 2,000. We'll create one voucher for carriage inwards under the direct expense again. ₹2,000 payment by cash. We'll save the entry. Petty cash expense of 4,000. Payment for petty cash. Again, we can just create the account of petty cash under the cash in hand. So petty cash will be debited. No, it will be done by contra. Petty cash 4,000. It is already cash. Okay. Oops. See, it gave an error that cash is going negative. Why? Because I have done the entry two side. What I was doing was petty cash should be debited and cash should be credited. So by mistake, I have written petty cash on two sides. So it gave me some error that cash is going negative. So I'll mention cash here, and on the debit side, I'll just mention petty cash. I'll save the entry. Next, received check from ICFAI and NGI in full settlement. Okay, now I have received some cash, received some amount. So I'll do the entry in receipt side. NGI. See, if I type the name of that party, I'll get the current balance. Just below the party name, I'm getting the current balance. So, what is the entry? Check received from ICFAI and NGN full settlement. Okay. So, the full amount has been received. So, what was the amount that was to be taken? 75,000. Here I'm getting the amount just below the name of the party. So, 75,000 I have received from NGI. And against reference, if you have given some reference, you can select the reference. Again, I have received from one more party, that is ICFAI. I'll just, instead of buy, I can manually write two here because I want to credit one more party here. These are known as consolidated entries. So I'm typing two here because I want to credit one more party, that is ICFAI, from which I was about to receive 9,000 against reference. See, now if you can see the parties when they have been credited, now their current balance have become zero. That means that they have paid the amount. Okay, and how they have paid? They have paid through check. So of course I have the SBI account only, so they have paid me in my SBI account. So I'll debit my SBI account, and here if there are any check number, I'll just mention the check number here, and I'll mention through which check number which party has done the payment. That can be mentioned in the narration. So, and then we can save the entry. Next one is paid by check to IBM and Sony, full settlement. Now we have paid the check. And one more thing. See, this is since this is the educational version of Tally, and even if you people will be downloading the Tally, you'll get the educational version. So on educational version, we can pass the entries only on two dates. First is first of the month, and second is the last day of the month, 31st maybe. So if I'll try to pass the entry, I think I won't be able to pass. I'll just try. Paid by check. So F5, paid to IBM, 75,000. And then Sony. Again, I'll write by because I want to debit one more party here. Sony, 60,000 against reference. Okay, to paid via bank account. See, I don't have that much balance in my bank account. My bank balance is going negative after this entry. So what I can do is, I'll just write 1,44,000, 1,34,000, which I have balance in my bank account, and remaining amount I'll pay in cash, 1,000. Okay. Okay, we can pass the entry. ठीक है, तो 2nd April को I have passed the entry. For changing the date, it's F2. Okay, now on 17th April, I'm passing the entry. Paid by petty cash for courier 1,400. This is the last entry probably. We will do in 2nd April only. So payment done by petty cash for the courier expense. So firstly, I'll have to create courier expenses under the head indirect expense. $1,400 and paid through petty cash. Okay. See, we have now passed all the entries. Now what I'll do is I'll just escape out of these entries and I'll just come to the gateway of Tally. Now the red alphabets that you see on these are basically the shortcut. Like if I press P, my profit and loss account will get open. See, by pressing P, I can open my profit and loss account and I can see like is there a profit or a loss. ठीक है, उसमें भी अगर मैं Alt F1 करती हूँ तो ये डिटेल वर्जन में ओपन हो जाएगा. अगेन Alt F1 में वापस वो कंडेंस्ड वर्जन में रहेगा. सी दीज आर दी ग्रुप्स एंड Alt F1 करने पे दीज आर दी लेजर्स दैट वी हैव क्रिएटेड. ऐसा ही होता है ना प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट जब हम प्रिपेयर करते हैं. तो दिस हैज ऑलरेडी ऑटोमेटिकली बीइंग प्रिपेयर्ड बाय दी टैली. हमने सिर्फ जर्नल एंट्रीज पास की और लेजर क्रिएट किए. लेजर्स भी अब कैसे दिखते हैं वो भी मैं आप लोगों को बताती हूँ. ये प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस हो गया. देन इफ आई प्रेस बी, बैलेंस शीट विल गेट ओपन. ये देखो, बिल्डिंग खरीदी थी, लैपटॉप खरीदा था, कैपिटल इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था, देन कैश इन हैंड कितना है, बैंक अकाउंट कितना है, एवरीथिंग विल बी सीन. बैंक अकाउंट तो खत्म हो गया था, जीरो हो गया था, तो कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा. और ये करंट प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस डेबिट साइड आ रहा है, एसेट साइड, दैट मींस इट्स अ लॉस. और यहां से हम देखेंगे अगेन एंटर करके तो वी हैव अ नेट लॉस. ठीक है. लेजर्स की बात करते हैं तो लेजर्स कैसे देख सकते हैं. हम डिस्प्ले पे जाएंगे, डी. अब यहां से हम ट्रायल बैलेंस भी देख सकते हैं. ओके. और यहां से हम अकाउंट्स ए, लेजर्स एल. किसका लेजर देखना है हमें, आईबीएम का. तो हम ऑल्ट F2 करेंगे और यहां से फुल ईयर का लेजर देख सकते हैं कि हमने आईबीएम से प्रोडक्ट खरीदा था 75,000 का और उसको एसबीआई के थ्रू पेमेंट कर दिया. तो अब उसका जो बैलेंस बचता है दैट इज क्लोजिंग बैलेंस इज 0. अगेन वी कैन सी वन मोर लेजर. आईसीएफएआई का लेजर देख लेते हैं. इनको हमने सेल किया था 9,000 का, इनसे 9,000 रिसीव भी हो गया. सो क्लोजिंग बैलेंस इज अगेन 0. For laptop, we have purchased the laptop. Payment has been done for 50,000. सोनी का लेजर देखते हैं. इनसे भी क्या था, परचेज था, पेमेंट भी हो गया and the balance is now 0. एनजीआई का भी 75,000 का सेल था. 75,000 rupees we have received. The balance, closing balance is now 0. Okay. Coming back to the slide. Okay, so this was for the today's session. I hope everything was clear to all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the insightful session, providing us with practical knowledge and skills to excel at Tally. I am grateful to Father Principal, Vice Principal, and Dean Academics. I would like to thank HOD Commerce Department. I would like to thank all participants. Attendance and feedback link will be shared in your class groups. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.